Good morning, everyone. All right, so today we're on to, chapter 16. So before we start, let's remind our brains about what happened in chapter 15. So right at the end, Glory and Jambu, and I guess in Mangrove, brought Blaze back to meet the Dragonettes of Destiny, and that is where we had left off. So go get yourself all comfy and settled and get ready for chapter 16. All right, chapter 16. Oh, wow. It is so exciting to meet you, Blaze said brightly. Where's the Skywing? Glory managed to keep her face and scales from showing any reaction. The Skywing is dead, she wanted to yell. You're stuck with me instead. Deal with it. Glory is our fifth Dragonette, Clay said, and he nodded towards her. Oh, Blaze said, regarding Glory with skepticism. But she's a Rainwing, and the prophecy calls for a Skywing, doesn't it? What prophecy? Jambu asked. What's a Dragonette of Destiny? Are you serious? Glory said to him. Do you know anything about what's going on out here? It's far too complicated to explain, Starflight said with a flick of his tail. There's a war going on, Clay said kindly, and a prophecy that says 5 Dragonettes will stop it, and that's us. Oh, Jambu said. Neat. Yes, far too complicated, Tsunami said to Starflight. The black Dragonette frowned at her. It's a little more specific than that, Blaze pointed out. It says 2 of the Sandwing sisters will die, hopefully not me. And it says the 5 Dragonettes are a Mudwing, a Seawing, a Nightwing, a Sandwing, and a Skywing. We've got a Rainwing instead, said Tsunami, and we're fine with that. There's also me, Sunny piped up. I'm the Sandwing, even though I'm weird looking. Blaze peered down at Sunny. Oh my gosh, you are weird looking. What's wrong with your tail? Why are your scales the wrong color? I don't know, Sunny said, spreading her wings, but I'm still the Sandwing in the prophecy. Are you sure? Blaze asked. She circled around Sunny, inspecting her. Wow, you all are not what I expected. For one thing, you're smaller. And I thought you'd be, I don't know, prettier. She stopped at Glory. Explain the Rainwing again, and also the other 2 Rainwings. Why are they here? You should go, Glory said to Jambu. She glanced at Mangrove, who was shivering and tugging his wings around himself. Take him home. You're both going to freeze if you stay out here any longer. I'm sorry, Mangrove said to her. I thought... I know. We'll find her, but not here. Glory pointed south. Both of you go. We'll catch up soon. Jambu didn't argue. He was also shivering from wingtip to wingtip, and he looked especially glad to have an excuse to get away from Blaze. Where are they going? Blaze asked as the 2 Rainwings lifted off. Isn't the rainforest kind of far from here? You know, we actually have some questions for you, Starflight interjected. Like, can you tell us why you should be queen instead of your sisters? Because I'm prettier and nicer and friendlier than they are, Blaze said. Obviously. She smiled and whirled in a circle, holding the blanket out so it flapped with like a flag. I mean, haven't you met them? Aren't they both awful? Yeah, Clay said. Well, Starflight said, then caught the look on Tsunami's face. I guess they are. But could you survive a challenge? Tsunami asked. If you did become queen, how long would you last before someone tried to take the throne from you? Ouch, Blaze said. That's kind of rude, isn't it? I'm a much older dragon than you. I've been in a battle, more or less. She flicked her poisonous tail back and forth. And I do have this deadly tail. So do all Sandwings, Tsunami said, unimpressed. Hey, how do you cure someone who's been scratched by a Sandwing tail? Sunny asked. I mean, let's say by accident. She did a good job of sounding like she was curious, but Glory knew she was thinking about webs. There's this cactus juice that heals our poison, Blaze said with a dismissive wave. Grows all over the desert. Once again, Glory thought, she's not suspicious at all, or worried about keeping Sandwing's secrets, apparently. Anyway, Blaze insisted to Tsunami, I'll have Queen Glacier to help me if anything goes wrong. Tsunami snorted. Glacier can't fight for you in a challenge for the throne, Starflight said. She can't? Blaze said, as if this was surprising news to her. Huh. Well, she can still come down and kill whoever's challenging me. She wouldn't mind. But that wouldn't be fair, Sunny said. That would violate all the challenge rules, right, Starflight? He nodded, but Blaze was already talking over them. Who cares, she said. Don't even worry about it. I'll be such a great queen that no one will want to challenge me. There, that's an excellent plan. So how does this prophecy thing work? Are you going to kill my sisters? That would make my life so much easier. Glory lashed her tail. She hadn't thought of that. Killing off Burn and Blister, it was certainly one way to fulfill the prophecy, if they could do it, which seemed unlikely considering armies of dragons had been trying to kill all of the sisters for 18 years already. Sunny looked taken aback. We're not hired killers, she said. We were thinking we'd tell everyone who we choose, and they'll all listen to us and stop fighting. Oh, said Blaze. Well, that sounds nice. What's the power of wings of fire? How do I get that? These were all questions Glory had had about the prophecy her whole life, and yet she felt weirdly irritated to hear them coming from Blaze, as if the Dragonettes had all the answers. At the same time, it occurred to her to wonder why Blister, the smartest sister, hadn't asked these questions. Perhaps she knew the answers already, or perhaps she wanted someone to think she did. We're figuring it out, Clay said. It's not like we chose this, Glory said. We were sort of shoved into this whole destiny thing. You weren't, Blaze said. Her voice was light and kind of puzzled. There's no Rainwing in the prophecy at all. Why don't you just go home? In the awkward pause that followed, Glory imagined all the other dragons having the exact same thought. Why didn't she just go home, where she could sit safely in the rainforest and stay out of the war and sleep all day? Maybe I should, she thought. I mean, it is worth it fighting for one of those... is it worth it fighting for one of those 3 awful Sandwings? Wouldn't it be easier to give in and accept that I'm meant to be a lazy Rainwing? It was almost a relief to be distracted by a Nightwing assassin landing on the top of the rock pile beside them. The others whipped around to stare at him, their tails lashing. Blaze squinted in a puzzled way. Oh, hello. Is he in the prophecy? She asked. He's cute. Cuter than this one. She waved a talon at Starflight's wounded expression. Why, hello, everyone, said Deathbringer. Isn't this a coincidence? I was just talking about you all this morning. He turned to Glory and tilted his head at her purple scales. Mystery Dragon! There's something different about you. Did you get your claws trimmed? Very funny, she said, baring her teeth at him. You could have told me you were one of the Dragonettes, Deathbringer said. I'd have asked you for your autograph. I see now that you're a Rainwing, so Glory, right? That was creepy that he knew her name, even if she kind of liked the sound of him saying it, but it had to confirm her theory about him. Otherwise, why would he have bothered to learn it? Right, the one you were sent here to kill, Glory said. Somehow I think that would have started us off on the wrong talon. I'm not necessarily here to kill you, Deathbringer objected, and even if I were, this seems like a much better opportunity to kill her. He suddenly opened his front talons, revealing a pair of sharp, silvery discs. Their edges gleamed like knives as he flung them, one after the other, right at Blaze. The Sandwing shrieked and stumbled back, dropping the blanket, but she didn't move fast enough. One disc embedded itself in her long neck, releasing a spurt of bright red blood that sprayed all over Sunny, who was standing next to her. The second disc sliced through the edge of Tsunami's wing as she leaped in front of Blaze. It ricocheted into one of the rocks with a ringing sound. Tsunami collapsed, clutching her injured wing. Sunny screamed. Clay jumped forward and clapped both his talons over the cut in Blaze's neck. Throw me the blanket, he yelled to Starflight. The Nightwing looked back at him in frozen terror. Glory grabbed the blanket and flung it to Clay, who started to wrap it around Blaze's neck. But then Deathbringer was there, landing on Blaze's back and tossing Clay aside as if he was the hefty Mudwing, weighed no more than a salamander. 2 more silver discs appeared in Deathbringer's talons. Glory leaped at the assassin and knocked him backwards off of Blaze. They rolled on the frozen ground, his black wings tangled with hers. He was very strong and astonishingly fast. A black pouch around his neck thumped against her chest, and she realized that that must be where he kept his weapons. She seized it between her claws just as he pinned her down, his talons on her wings. "Killing Blaze was your assignment?" she said. "No, but I like to work outside the box," he answered. "And if I kill her, I figure it will get me out of the trouble I'll be in for not killing you." "You can try to kill me," she growled, "but I doubt it will be as easy as you think." She ripped open the pouch and caught a few of the silver discs as they spilled into her talons. Several others clattered to the ground around her, but one was all she needed. She pressed it to Deathbringer's neck before he could jump away. "You missed the biggest artery on Blaze's neck," she said. "If I remember my dragon anatomy correctly, it's right here." She applied a little more pressure, and Deathbringer flinched as the silver edge left a thin trail of blood on his scales. He lifted his talons from her shoulders and carefully backed off. Glory stood up, keeping the disc poised at his neck, and glanced over Deathbringer's shoulder. Clay had the blanket tied firmly around Blaze's neck, but blood was already seeping through. The Sandwing Queen leaned against him, looking faint. Tsunami had also climbed to her feet and was examining the cut on her own wing with a scowl. Starflight hadn't moved. Sunny was still staring at the blood all over her talons and wings. "I did mention the part about how I don't actually want to kill you, right?" Deathbringer said, eyeing Glory and the disc she held with a faintly amused expression. "I'm pretty sure I snuck that in there." "Oh, all right," Glory said. "I'll just trust you then, shall I?" "If you let me kill her, I can let you all go," he said. "That should give you a fair head start before they send someone else after you, especially since no one knows where you'll go next." "All of us," Glory said. "You're here to kill all of us?" "No," he said, still smiling. "Just a couple of you." "Oh, well, that makes me feel better," she said. "Stop looking so pleased with yourself." She poked his neck, and he tried, and failed, to look serious. "Which couple of us?" Sunny asked. "Who's they?" Tsunami demanded at the same time. "Who sent you?" "The Nightwings," Starflight said bleakly. "That's it, isn't it? Because of what happened in the Kingdom of the Sea. Because we didn't choose Blister." "The Nightwings wanted us to choose Blister?" Glory said as Tsunami whirled to stare at Starflight. "Why would they care?" "I don't know," Starflight said. "That's all Morosir told me, that we had to pick Blister and I should convince you all to agree to it." "That's so mean," Blaze interjected, opening her eyes and looking a bit more alive. "Why should the Nightwings get to decide? They've never even met me. I'm awesome." "Oh, that's why you were acting so weird around Blister," Clay said to Starflight. Deathbringer suddenly lunged forward, faster than a striking snake, and seized Glory's front talons. She thwacked his head as hard as she could with her wings and kicked at his underscales with her back claws. "Ow, stop," he cried. "It's like you want me to kill you." Just then, the sound of wing beats reached their ears. Glory and Deathbringer both froze and looked up at the sky. "Queen Glacier," Blaze breathed with a relieved sigh. "I knew she would save me." The glitter of diamond wings approaching from the north was unmistakable. The Ice Wings were on their way. And that's the end of chapter 16. I hope you all enjoyed our story today. Go back on tomorrow for chapter 17. Bye, guys.